Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Smarty from the ProEdge marketing team. This is going to be one of a three-part series where I'm going to show on this channel how to properly connect your chatbot to your Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So if you're a realtor investor that are diving into the world of advertising on these social platforms, you're going to want to know how to properly connect these chatbots so that they create an engaging experience for your buyers and sellers. This video, I'm going to share my #1 method for connecting my chatbot to that ad, and that's called a JSON ad. Now, JSON may sound a little intimidating if you're not technical, but fear not. I'm going to show you how easy it is in ManyChat to create the flow that you want and create the JSON code itself so that you can simply copy and paste that code right inside your Facebook ad. Let's dive right into it. And let me start out on the Facebook side, how to start creating the ad. And then we'll flip over to ManyChat and I'll show you how to get that code and finish up the ad launch. Let's dive in. So over here on the Facebook Ad Manager is where I'm going to set up the ad itself. I'll take you step by step some of the tricks I use in creating these ads. If you're new to Ad Manager, it's set up in a hierarchy. So you have campaigns, defines the objective. Ad sets defines who sees the ad and where do they see them. And then ads are the physical ads themselves, the ads that people are going to see. And it is a hierarchy. So you could have a campaign has multiple ad sets have multiple ads in them as well. In this results here, I have a number of ads I've been running, including my own house that I sold. I had 50,000 impressions on that house at $1.58 per click. So you can see the power of Facebook advertising is there. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck. You're getting these ads in front of a lot of people and driving leads and getting things closed. So what I'd like to do now is create an ad from scratch. So you can see exact steps I take to create the ad and connect it to the chatbot. Over here, you have a green create button. So at the campaign level, Facebook has a number of objectives. What we're going to use is we're going to create one of my favorites, which is called a messenger or message ad. So these are people that are already used to and running Facebook Messenger. They see the ad in their newsfeed, either on their phone or desktop. They click learn more, and it pops them right open into Messenger, and the chatbot's going to start talking to them. So we're going to go ahead and click the messages objective. Down below here, I can give it a name. So I'm going to call it my ProEdge Messenger campaign. And I usually like to call it whatever the main theme is. It's going to be a rent to own ad that I'm doing. I'm going to run this ad in Montgomery. So Montgomery County in my town. So I'm going to do Montgomery and I'll say plus 30. I'm going to make it a geographic and cold audience at this stage. I'll get into more videos around retargeting ads of warm audiences. But for now, I'll just do a cold audience type ad. And we're going to call this the rent to own video ad, because I have a video that I created on my platform in order to engage people when they're seeing that in their newsfeed. So now that you set up the initial parameters, on the left-hand side, I call this a tree. You'll see that we're in the blue area. We're now at the campaign level itself. Then we'll move into the campaign ad set, and then we'll do the ad at the very last step, creating the copy and the images and stuff that you want to put in your ad. So what's very critical at the campaign level is there's the name I created, but right here we have what's called the special ad category. Make sure as a realtor investor you always select housing, or else this ad will get rejected. That's one of the rules and regulations of Facebook as a realtor or investor. Down below, it's auction type. I can hit more options here. I can do spending limits at the campaign level. But at this point, I'm just going to go and hit next, because that's really all I'm defining is it's a housing category. Now at the ad set level, I could do either a sponsored message or a click to message. So this is going to be a click to message. When they see my ad, they're going to click learn more, and then they're going to go into the conversation. I'm going to identify what messaging apps do I want to use, and I can use all three, or maybe I only just want to use Messenger, so it'll use just the Messenger application. And you're going to see some new videos on my channel shortly. ManyChat just released Instagram and WhatsApp as 2 new channels that the chatbot will run on. So I will be creating more topics around these 2 channels as we progress into the year, so you can get up to date on how Instagram and WhatsApp will work for you. At the ad set level, we connected to our business page. And then down here, we're dealing with the budget. So the first thing we're going to tell Facebook is how much do we want to spend. This can either be a lifetime budget or daily budget. As a word of wisdom, I like to tell my clients, if you're doing a open house type, or I just sold my house and I did a listing presentation type ad, showcasing a video about my new house, the house I was selling. In that case, I did a lifetime budget and I ran it basically for only a week or 2. And I wanted to maximize how many people saw that ad in that week or 2. If this is more of a farming ad, and this is going to be what I'm setting up here, I'm going to just start showing cold audience in my region that we have a new program for rent to own. At this stage, I'm going to tell Facebook how much I want to spend per day. So I always like to start small. Let's start with $5 a day. And over here, you'll see that based on $5 a day, Facebook's saying we'll reach 214 to 617 people a day and get about 10 conversions a day. So that's a pretty good number for me to start with. And then I can increase my budget if this ad is working. So as I come down here, you can also set the end date. So I can keep it open to start today. And if I want to just run it for 30 days or what have you, it's actually a good idea to put an end date, because I've seen realtors forget about their ads. And next thing you know, 6 months later, they're getting these big bills from Facebook saying, oh my God, I thought that ad was shut off months ago. So go ahead and put the end date if you want to. For this demonstration, I will leave it just an open ad that I'm going to create. Next up, we're going to deal with the audience. Now in the audience section, when you're dealing with a cold audience, you're typically going to use just location data. Say, let me see everybody in this location, and maybe some detailed targeting data, which I'll do here for you in a minute. What you're going to, once you get the cold audience, and because of the video ad, I'm going to set up advanced tracking and a custom audience around that video. So anybody that watches this video, I'm going to put them in a Facebook custom audience so that I can start getting a warm audience now to start progressing this person as being not knowing me to knowing who I am, being aware of my company, and then starting to like and trust me to actually do business. So this is a key part of advertising, especially if you're starting with cold. You want to warm these folks up. You want to get them into a retargeting later on so they keep seeing your content in their newsfeed, so that they become very comfortable with you as a realtor or investor. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit location data, and I'm going to change the location because obviously I don't want all the United States. And here I can set who's going to see it. Is it anybody living in or recently in the location? So if I'm in a part of the country that has a lot of people migrating from other states, like Texas and Arizona, there's a lot of folks coming in from California and other locations, or people down in Florida, you have people from Connecticut and other parts of the Northeast starting to take their homes down in Florida. You may want to set this living in or recently in location, because you'll have people that are vacationing down there and still shopping for houses. So you want them to see the ads when you're down there. But up here in my neck of the woods, it's not really a migration type area. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in my address, North Wales, where I want this ad to be shown, and I'll do North Wales, Pennsylvania. So it draws a little circle here, so everybody in the circle. Now in Facebook, you can, as realtors, you can only advertise no sooner than or closer than 15 miles. And you can't go any further out than 50 miles per ad set. Now I show other techniques to get around that. You can use custom audiences. One of my videos on my channel, you can check up here, was how to use Remind to mine neighborhoods and then do target tracking ads right inside a neighborhood using a custom audience. So take a look at that, and I think you'll enjoy that video as well. I can change the radius here. You'll see from 15 to 50 miles. So obviously 50 miles, I'd have people all over Allentown seeing this ad. But you know, in this case, I'll leave it. Why don't I just leave it as a 20-mile ring? I want everybody in that ring to know about my offering. So as I come down in here, I can't touch age or gender. That's not allowed as realtors or investors in the real estate category. but I can do some detailed targeting. Over here, Facebook says in that ring that I just put on the map, that's 2.9 million people. So I could leave it open and let anybody in that 2.9 million see my ad, or I can try to refine that ad through targeting. So if I come over here and hit edit, I can start putting in things like real estate, people that have an interest in real estate. So down in here, you'll see Facebook has lots and lots of targeting ideas. So if I just put in general real estate and then I do an interest, I say suggestions, you'll see that there's all kinds of things that Facebook tracks about each one of us, kind of scary. But if I want people that are in rent to own, I can click on that, and that brought it down to 1 million people instead of 2.9. So that actually looks like a good number. If I take away real estate, that's only 110,000 people are interested in rent to own. But I can go in and look at other things like maybe apartments, people that are renting or interested in apartments. So as I start stacking this up, now I have a nice sizable audience of 500,000 people that are interested. They're already renting or an apartment, or they're interested in rent to own. And I want all these folks to be able to see my advertisement about my rent to own opportunity. So now I come down here to the placement. So Facebook, if you're not aware, Facebook owns Instagram. So they want you to advertise across all their platforms. If you're new to advertising, you may want to keep it automatic, which is the recommended by Facebook. But as you get more advanced in your Facebook advertising, I like to decide where the placement's going to be, because for example, my chatbot runs on Facebook Messenger. Instagram has a new Messenger app, but my chatbot's not over there yet. It will be very soon. So I don't necessarily want to run an ad on Instagram when it's not going to be able to interact with the chatbot. Another reason is, if I have a video, maybe the video was created for the proper size for Facebook feed. But if I'm targeting folks on Instagram, it's a whole different audience over there. So I want to have different words or messages. So if I'm going to do an Instagram ad, I'm going to do it by design with the copy and images I use, and how am I going to direct them with one of my strategies around the chatbot. So down here, if I do manual, you'll see that I can select where I want this ad to be placed. So I'm going to just basically, I'll keep this very simple. People in Messenger or on Facebook, I want them to see the ad. Now down in here, there's the feeds, there's stories, in-stream, search, messages. In this case, this isn't a story type ad. So I'm going to turn off stories and I'll turn off in-stream and search. So basically, and then there's articles down here, I can be very prescriptive of where people are going to be when they see my ad. In this case, I'm going to stay with the Facebook Marketplace, video feeds, and news feeds is where they're going to see this particular ad placement. I'll come all the way down here and I'll hit next. So now I do have a very nice audience, 420,000 people. I'm going to have plenty of people seeing it per day, and clicks per day. I should have a healthy number of leads coming into my chatbot for me to now close and get appointments set up to close these deals. In fact, this video ad I'm showing you here, my rent to own, is part of my program. This video is spectacular. You're going to see in a minute, getting a lot of engagement and closing a lot of deals. So take a look at that as I go into more detail here. So what I can do here is I'm going to say I'm going to do a single image or video or a carousel. That's up to you. A carousel would be a series of photographs you could put in an ad. Obviously, a single image is self-explanatory, or a video. I'm going to do a video. So I'm going to go over to my video library and add a video. So this will bring you up into your video library. So there's an upload button if you have a new video on your desktop you want to upload. But in this case, I'm just going to use one that's already in my library, and I can change the aspect ratio and such, and then I'll click OK. So now I have a nice video, and this is a little loud there, but what you'll see is it's an animated video by the Smart Real Estate Chatbot team. It has some copy in here about the rent to own, and this is going to get awesome engagement on the ad itself. Okay, so when you're creating these kind of ads, you have the image or the video goes here. The primary text is going to go above the picture of the video. The headline is down where it says chat with messenger here. That's going to be the call to action. So they're going to see what really in advertising, it all starts with the video or the image, right? That's what stops somebody in their tracks. They're going through their news feed on their phone or desktop, looking at the family and friends and grandkids and stuff. And all of a sudden your video pops and they see that and they're like, wow, what is that? And they stop. The second most important is the copy. So what is your ad asking them to do? What's this all about? They're going to read your ad copy. And finally is the call to action to get them to push that button. So what I'm going to do here is I'll put in my copy here. So I have a copy, attention renters or buyers, rent to own option, renters got you down, wide variety of options. You pick the house, we buy it, we rent it to you with a right to purchase. So this is a pretty engaging ad for a realtor or investor that you can, if you want to take this this copy, it's a fantastic ad to leverage out. Okay, so down here is the headline. So with the headline, I may do something like learn about our program, right? So I have my learn about our program that you're seeing down here. Now, descriptive data, this is optional. Most of the places you're not going to see this, but we could say, you know, find your dream home, right? Put something catchy there. And then finally is the call to action button. So right now it's defaulted to send message. Facebook allows you to control what the words say. So I'm going to do a learn more, and that basically is marrying up with my text. Click the learn more below to get full program details. So now we move into how do I connect the chatbot to that learn more button? That's what this video is all about. So in here, what I'm going to do is come down to the message template section. Now, as I told you, this is one of a 3-part series. We're going to do generate leads, which is Facebook lead ads. We're going to use a method which is called a URL, and I'll have a video for that. We're going to use a keyword approach in ManyChat, and that's the start conversation here. What we're going to focus on is the advanced setup here, where we're going to take some JSON code on ManyChat and paste it in here, which is going to bring the person right into Messenger and start talking to my chatbot immediately. One of the rules of engagement when you're doing JSON based on Facebook rules is that you can't call the person by name. So I can't use personalization up here. So if you look at my first step here, it says, hi, thank you for your interest in our executive lease and rent-own programs. Are you ready to learn? And then I have buttons here. Based on Facebook rules, I can't say, hi, John, this is so-and-so's bot, and use my personal information in that first message. I have to create this like an opt-in experience. So one of my ninja tricks I'm showing you here is I'm asking them, are they ready to learn more? So they saw the ad, they hit learn more, and they say, yes, let's go. And now the chatbot's going to tell them all about our rent-to-own program. However, there's a lot of people that are trigger happy on Facebook. They're going through the news feed and they just want to see, they click on the learn more button, but they have no intentions to go further. When they click on learn more and this message pops up, I have an oops not ready button. So if they click the oops not ready button, my ninja trick is I pass them my business card. So now they get my picture, my contact information with buttons and actions later on. And if they remember me, they can come back to Messenger and say, yeah, you know what, I wanted to sell a house or buy a house. I remember that Smarty guy. Right on Messenger is my business card. That's my ninja trick. So you'll get this ad out to lots of people every day. And even those that say, oops, I'm not ready, or I didn't intend to push the button, when they hit that oops, they're going to know who you are, and you're pass your business card out to hundreds of people a day, getting your name out as a realtor investor in your town. So now let me show you where you access the code. In this flow, it's very simple. You're going to start out with an opt-in section here, right? And you can put whatever buttons you hear, and those buttons can go to any message or flow in the flow builder. So basically, if they say, yes, I'm going to call my rent to own main flow, and it's going to talk about our program. And as I mentioned, if they say, oops, it'll take me into my business card flow. I won't get into those on this particular video. It's all about the JSON here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over to, first I'll hit edit. And in the very first step here is the starting step where you can create a trigger here. And if I create a trigger, you'll see the Facebook add JSON is right here. So that's where you can create the JSON code. I already have one built in, so I'll just show you the one that I've set up here. And right here, there's a little tutorial, and you can read the article about JSON. But basically, it looks intimidating, but all I have to do is click copy to clipboard, and then I'm going to hop over to Facebook, and I'm going to paste it into that final ad step so that now I can complete that ad and get it out in front of as many eyeballs as I can. So let's go back over to Facebook, and let me show you where to place this code. Okay, and our final step here is to take the code I just copied on ManyChat, the JSON code, and I'm going to paste it in this advanced setup inside Ad Manager. I'm going to hit the create button, and in the setup window, they have some sample JSON that's being shown on the right-hand side. What you want to do is you want to highlight all that code and just delete it until it says the JSON is empty. And then what I'll do is I'll right mouse and paste my code in there. So after I paste it in here, you'll see a little snippet of what it looks like on the right-hand side. And then there's a little checkbox that says Save Template. If you're doing many ads, what I like to do is I like to name these. So I'll call these my ProEdge opt-in for rent to own. So that way I can reuse these many times. I may run 4 or 5 ads in a month on my rent to own. Now I have that in my drop down as a selection, so I don't have to copy the code each and every time. So make sure you save those. I can do a preview of Messenger, what it looks like, and that'll pop up, and then they'll have the actions to go either in oops, not now, or what have you. But I won't get into that in this video. One final thing I'll close on this is tracking. Make sure that you have your pixels on your websites as a realtor investor, and I'll have other videos on the channel specifically around setting that up. But the pixels are very important for your retargeting. You have website events. You could also have videos, and on my advanced setups, I'll have a video on how I did the custom audience specifically around this video. So that way you can see how to put audiences into this grouping so that you can retarget them downstream with future ads. I hope you found this video helpful. As I said, this is one of a 3-part series. I will be covering other methods to connect the chatbot to this ad for you in different ways. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you don't miss another video. I'm committed to providing videos weekly to help realtors, investors get more leads, set more appointments, and close more transactions, making this the best decade ever. Enjoy.